Guys, we just had to talk about Wolves. For the longest, it looked like they were destined not only to get relegated this season, but also to become one of the absolute worst teams in the history of the Premier League, but things have suddenly turned around for them recently. Every day is now looking pretty sunny at Wolverhampton. When did it all change? What was the turning point? What the heaven is happening to Wolves right now?
Hey Goal 90 family, what's good? The World Cup season is here and you already know the vibes on this channel. So for everyone who's been rocking with us, Goal 90 Shop has World Cup jerseys for the whole squad. Men, women and kids. Whatever country you're repping, we've got ya. Home kits, away kits, clean classics and the loud ones. Instant match day energy. And it's love from us. Free shipping worldwide. Grab yours now and let's run this tournament together.
First of all, this club's recent record is truly phenomenal. They have lost just one of their last 6 games across all competitions, which means that they're currently in better form than the likes of Chelsea, who have won just one of their last 6 games, Liverpool, who have lost 2 of their last 6 games, and Aston Villa, who have won just 1 of their last 6 games. It is absolutely incredible what we've been seeing from these guys in the last couple weeks. They used to be the whipping boys of the league, the team everyone was always so excited to play, the game that seemed like a walkover for most of the teams in the division, but they've been shocking everyone recently. Their most recent win came thanks to a 94th minute winner against Liverpool, and it was truly historic. It was the first time a team in the relegation zone had ever scored a 90-minute winner against the reigning Premier League champions. A month ago, no one would have thought that Wolves would be the ones to break this record, but here we are. But of course, this form didn't just start with Liverpool. We saw glimpses of what they could do when they held Newcastle to a draw in January. In the game after that, they lost to Manchester City, but they actually gave a good account of themselves. Then in February, they only lost to Chelsea due to silly errors that led to 2 penalties. But after a poor first half, they did much better in the second period, stopping Chelsea from scoring any further goals and scoring one themselves. A few days later, they went to Forest and held them to a draw, leading to Sean Dyche losing his job. Then, in the FA Cup, they faced Grimsby Town, who had previously knocked Man United out of the competition, and they knocked them out away from home. 3 days later, they welcomed Arsenal to the Molineux, and everyone thought this was about to be a massacre. And to be fair, it started out like it was going to be one. Saka opened the scoring in the first 5 minutes, and Hincapié doubled the lead in the 56th minute. At that point, the game looked completely gone. Everyone watching thought it was only going to get worse for them. But somehow, when absolutely no one gave them a chance, Wolves, who were bottom of the table, mounted a comeback against Arsenal, who were top of the table, and left with 1 point. Everyone thought it was just luck, especially after they went and lost to Crystal Palace a few days after. But when you look at that game more closely, you see how well Wolves actually played. They were a man down for 30 minutes of that game and ended up only losing to a 90-minute goal. Anyway, when they welcomed Aston Villa to Wolverhampton, they showed that they are indeed a brand new team. They beat Villa, who were 3rd on the table at the time, and even kept a clean sheet in the process. They would then welcome the reigning champions home some days later and also beat them. So the question now is, what changed? What are they doing now that they weren't doing earlier in the season? What was the turning point? We'll answer those questions in a second, but if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. Now, back to the video. The major turning point for Wolves this season has to be when Rob Edwards was hired in November. Many people called him silly for leaving an upwardly mobile Middlesbrough to join an already doomed Wolves halfway into the season, but it wasn't just any other job for him. He was attached, very attached. He had previously played for Wolves between 2004 and 2008, so his heart is still at the club and he wants them to do well. This was what made him a very brilliant hire. He didn't just want to be back in the Premier League, he wanted to give his former club his everything. And he's not just some random guy, by the way. He had previously helped Luton Town gain promotion to the Premier League for the first time in their entire history. The man actually knows his onions, and he proved it again by putting Middlesbrough on a path to promotion back to the top flight for the first time in about a decade. He left the club in 2nd place before getting poached by Wolves in November. Back at Wolves, it took him some time to get going, as it would any coach who took over a very poor team mid-season, but he has managed to instill his style into the players and they are now cruising. One thing we'll say Rob Edwards has really changed is the mentality at the club. They now look like they really believe these days. They're never actually out. Most teams would have completely given up at this point of the season, with their fate looking already sealed, but they approach each game with a fresh hunger for points, and that has been yielding results. We saw real evidence of this top mentality when they went up against Arsenal, 2 goals down against the league leaders in the second half. Most teams bottom of the table would have mentality checked out, but Wolves remained in the game, kept knocking, kept going, and eventually got a point for all their troubles. And credit also has to go to the fans. Wolves have become Premier League regulars over the past few years, so it must hurt to see the team this bad and seemingly destined for relegation. A lot of fan bases would have stopped attending games, or we would have seen the energy in the stadium just die week after week. But not Wolves. Their fans have continued to come out and show support. It is why most of the team's best games and good results have come at home. The draws against Newcastle and Arsenal, as well as the wins against Aston Villa and Liverpool, have all come at Molineux. The fans have proven to be the 12th man, and they have propelled this team to success. It seems like the fans really love the coach and have bought into what he's trying to do, and you can tell that the manager himself loves the club so much. After the late goals which secured wins against Aston Villa and Liverpool, he ran down the touchline and celebrated passionately with the fans. You can tell that he really loves to be here. But now the big question is, can Wolves really pull off the great escape, or is it too little too late for them? Well, mathematically, Wolves aren't relegated just yet, but you get the feeling that it is too little too late for them. Anyway, we're quite sure that the players and staff aren't paying much attention to the table. They're just taking things game by game and seeing what happens. But if you are a fan, it would probably be at the back of your mind. You just can't help it. And well, it would be the craziest thing ever, but Wolves escaping relegation this season is not impossible. What gives them the most hope is the fixtures they have coming. Most of them are against teams around them, which means they are essentially 6-pointers. Win a few of them and things start to look very different. 4 of their last 8 league games of the season come against fellow relegation-threatened clubs. Winning those games won't only give them points, it would also take away from their direct rivals, which is why they're called 6-pointers. They have slayed giants. It is now time for them to pull their weight against their peers. On top of that, 3 of their final 8 games of the season are at home. We have seen them turn Molineux into some kind of fortress in recent weeks. If they can turn up the atmosphere in the stadium and continue showing the hunger and fight they've been showing in recent weeks, who knows what can happen. If Wolves can win 6 of their remaining 8 games, that would put them in the fun zone. It would take them up to 34 points, and while it won't guarantee that they stay up, it would surely make things very interesting depending on how the other teams around them perform in the final weeks of the season. But like we said, the Wolves dressing room is probably not thinking too much about all this. It would just put unnecessary pressure on the players, and that's the last thing they need right now. They just need to continue doing what they're doing and taking things one game at a time, then in a couple months' time, see where they are. If they stay up somehow, what a miracle. But if they go down, they need to just take it as an opportunity to continue building with the coach they have and look to bounce back up the very next season. For us right now, we're just enjoying every bit of what Wolves have been doing in the last couple weeks. They have just gone and made the league that bit more interesting. With how they're going right now, do you guys think that they could really pull off the great escape and survive relegation this season? Get in the comments and tell us what you think. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.